So right now, the progeny, Mr. D.O. Brown, is taking the valve cover off of his little Subaru motor because we've never checked valve lash adjustments on this motor, and we got everything else tightened up pretty good, proper, other than a slow, inconsequential oil leak. But other than that, it's about perfect. So we're just gonna check the valve lash today to make sure it's tip top, running tip top for him. Anything you want to add to that, Dio?
No.
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's the long and veiny of it.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what you have to do to get to this? Is a little easier than on cars, right?
Yeah. Just gotta get the 4 little bolts out. Take off this spark plug cover so you can get to it and take it off all the way.
Yep. That's about it. And then we'll be able to see the valve train and make our measurements and adjustments if necessary.
Yep.
There we go. Now there's going to be a gasket. You'll see the timing chain and the cam gear there. If this was a car, or if we had like a new gasket to use or some new gasket material to use for this, we would be replacing that gasket. But right now we're just going to see if we can get away with reusing it and hopefully not creating any new oil leaks. But of course, I always like to let you know the right way to do it, and technically that is replacing the gasket. So let's do some measurements. So once you have the valve cover off, you have to use the pull cord. Oh, that's all right. He went a little far there. That's all right. So basically the idea is, you see these 2 hash marks? You have to get them to line up with the plane of the cylinder head. So Dio's gonna try rotating around again because he went a little past, which is easy to do because top dead center, it wants to go past. But you just have to carefully go, whoa, now go slow, right? Go real slow and pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. A little more, right? Very slow. You feel it creating compression. Yeah. And you're almost there, so don't go past. It's okay if you do because we can just rotate back around. A little tiny bit more, right? Just barely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's starting to look really good. Just the littlest bit, just the littlest bit more. Stop.
All right. All right, that's good.
Give it a couple little turns here. It's already less floppy. And you check it again. Feel just a little bit of drag on it, which is basically what you want to feel.
Yeah.
And then now, after adjusting the bottom one, the top one feels a tiny bit loose. Anytime you adjust part of a mechanical system that's all interconnected, it tends to affect the rest of the system. So you have to continuously go around making your checks after adjustments until everything checks out. And then and only then are you almost done. So we're going to break this lock nut on the top one. And we're going to adjust that in just a little bit. And see where we're at. Too much. Too much is what we did. It doesn't take much to do too much in this game.
Yep.
So you got to be very, very tiny with your adjustments. Still too much. Now we're back to being a little bit too loose, I feel. So we're going to give it a little bit of a tweak there. and we're too tight. See what I mean about these super tiny adjustments? They are super tiny. Just the littlest adjustments. Now that's starting to feel pretty good right there. Let's feel that. Let's wiggle these a little bit. Feel that bottom one again. Just a little bit of drag, that's nice. All right, I'm ready for the final test, I believe. And the final test is really just a matter of spinning the engine around a couple times and then back to top dead center so that we can take another measurement. Slowly spin it around a couple times. So we see we're almost at one rotation. Once you do another rotation, spin it. There you go. Go ahead and go past it this time one last time, and then after this we're gonna try to line it up on the next time around. So we will have done 3 full rotations by the time we line it up.
Is it close yet?
It's getting there. Do you see the top notch?
Oh yeah.
A little more. Almost. Tiny bit more. Tiny bit more. Tiny bit more. Stop. Tiniest bit more. The tiniest bit more. Stop. Let's take some measurements here on the exhaust valve side. We feel a tiny drag, but it's definitely tight, and it's not too tight. How about down on our intake valve? A little bit of drag. We're in business. Final adjustments made, final measurements taken. Just gotta tighten up these puppies. We gotta be very careful not to fuck up the adjustment while we're tightening up those. And then we can spin it around, measure one last time, put the valve cover back on, and give her a test. Stop. Tighten it. Cool. Go fast one more time. There we go. Coming up on it. Slow. I can hear a K series. I hear K series. Yeah, me too. You can always hear a Honda K series when it arrives, because it has that fucking sound. All right. Put that motherfucking valve cover back on, baby. And like I said earlier, normally you'd change the gasket if you were doing everything perfect, but we don't have a replacement gasket, and we think we can just get away with this because we just wanted to make sure that lash was all proper. And glad we did, because it turned out that it was a little bit out. It was a little bit loose on both ends. And now it should be a little bit more responsive with that throttle, which I know Dio will appreciate.
Yeah.
Now, typically when you're putting these on, you know, the torques are going to be fairly low, like probably around 10 foot-pounds on these bolts. And you're going to want to try to sort of tighten them down evenly to make sure you don't distort the gasket. and you know, increase the chances of having a leak. Other than that, pretty straightforward. 4 bolts, a ratchet. You can either do wrist torque or actually bust out a real torque wrench and throw it on 10 pounds. Other than that, we just plug the spark plug back in, and we'll give her a little test rip in a second here. And should go. Don't run it into Brandon's car. Well, it seems to respond pretty good. What's that?
It's cold as fuck.
How is it running?
Better.
Yeah. Another success. Well, yeah, you gotta do shit, otherwise shit'll never get done. God damn.